Evening, everybody. How are we doing? It's Karen Cinnamon here. I'm the founder of Smashing the Glass and our accompanying members club for brides called Brides Club. How are we this evening? It's almost 9 o'clock here in London. Who's on? Who's live with me here? I've actually just returned from a really amazing event with Brown's Bride. The press preview of the new Vivienne Westwood bridal collection is amazing. It should be the Facebook Live just below this one. Is my little live from Brown's Bride. It was fantastic. So how's everyone doing? Say hi in the comments if you're watching. I just wanted to jump on and talk to you about ideal Jewish wedding day timelines. Getting a lot of questions at the moment about, well, not questions so much as brides worried about how the sort of day's panning out. What time do I need to start getting ready? What's a good time to have the chuppah? When do you do the dancing? When do you do the speeches? So I just wanted to sort of break it all down for you and also give you a link. It's just there above or below this video. I never remember which way up on Facebook. I think it's above the video actually. Smashing.glass/timeline, and you can actually download an ideal Jewish wedding day timeline with the start times of, everything from getting ready to the last dance, even beyond the last dance, so the kind of breakdown and the vendors and the staff's parting, everything from on this timeline 10:30 in the morning till midnight. Now, like I always say, there is no such thing as an ideal Jewish wedding or the right kind of Jewish wedding or the right time to start things. It's really about your Jewish wedding or your interfaith Jewish wedding. This is only a guide. We like guides, and then we can twist them and amend them to suit us. So if you're dreaming of a brunch wedding rather than your traditional kind of chuppah ceremony followed by reception followed by dinner, which is this timeline, just mix it up, just move it around based on this one. This is just an ideal sample timeline for a traditional Jewish wedding timing structure, shall we say. Just to get you started, just to give guidelines, for some people this would be your exact timings. For others, not so, but it just gives you an idea. And also, I'm always getting asked, when should we do the dancing? How long should the dancing be? The speeches, So it just gives you an idea. So you can download your own personal copy for the link above, smashing.glass/timeline. But let me start talking you through it. So sample Jewish wedding timeline. So this is assuming that your chuppah ceremony is going to start around 4:30 or so. So if your ceremony is going to start around 4:30, 4:45, maybe the ketubah signing's at 4:30, the bedeken's at 4:30, and then the actual chuppah starts at 4:45, you want to start getting ready in the morning for hair and makeup around 10:30 a.m. Obviously, it depends the number of bridesmaids you're having. If you need to allocate time for a first look or any other portraits before the ceremony, that should be taken into account. But as a rough guide, you want to start your getting ready around 6 hours before. It sounds like a lot of time, but you want to take your time. There's also other people that need to get ready, other people around you. You may want to make time for some first look and some formal pictures. So again, discuss it with your makeup artist. Your also photographer should be included in the timeline. The other thing is, nearer the wedding date, you want to have, if you haven't got a wedding planner and you are creating the timeline, you want to send it out to all your key vendors, make sure everyone's on the same page. Hi Anna, good to have you on. Make sure everyone's on the same page. If you've got a wedding planner, they'll take care of everything like that. So around between, if you're again, assuming your chuppah is around 4:30 and your hair and makeup starts at 10:30, your most vendors will arrive and set up between the midday and 2 p.m. mark. So you can expect that to happen then. Around 3:30, you might want to take some first look or formal pictures, or if you're not doing that, we didn't do that. We didn't have like first look. Our first look was our bedeken, and we saw each other bedeken, having not seen each other for 24 hours before. It was really emotional, really highly charged emotional pictures. And I think for most wedding photographers, that is the favorite. Well, there's so many amazing moments to photograph at Jewish wedding, but the bedeken is definitely one of them. There's so much emotion there. We invented the first look, basically, didn't we? We had the bedeken is our first look. So if your groom is having a tish or you're having a kabbalat panim, that would happen between 4 and 4:30. And on your invitation, we're assuming that the invitation timing says 4:30 for the chuppah to start. And normally you write 4:30 prompt. Have I got my invitation here? Just a second. I do. So we got married at a venue that didn't allow weddings. It was an art gallery which was open during the day, and the weddings couldn't start till the gallery closed. So our chuppah started later at 6:30. Do you see that? 6:30, and we wrote 6:30 prompt, and we actually started our ceremony at 6:45. So make sure everyone was seated. So if you use the word prompt, you won't really get any late goers because people don't want to be late for your chuppah, do they? So use the word prompt about 15 minutes before your chuppah is going to start, 15 to 30 minutes. So assuming on your invite time it says 4:30, your ketubah signing in your bedecken could be between 4:30 and 4:45. And by the way, people asking for my invitation. Here it is. I designed it at the time. I do love designing. It's me and my husband's a sort of memory bank, really, of our favorite things. Some of the places we met. It's our parents' wedding. This is obviously us as kids. The Wallace collection is where we got married. That's where my husband proposed. Blah, 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 a few little memories. We love Scrabble, so our name's Scrabble's house. Anyway, and then on the other side, just a very simple wording. People are often asking about wording, so you can screenshot this and get some sample wording as well. And this was our monogram that I designed. JK. Very simple, love it. Also a lot of Jewish invitations. Most Jewish invitations will have this. You don't need to have any more Hebrew if you don't want to. But yeah, screenshot it if you want to get your invitation wording. So let's go back to the timeline. So you'd have your guests seated and everything by 4:30. You're meanwhile in another room doing your ketubah signing, your bedecken, and then at 4:45 your ceremony of chuppah starts. Now I recommend and then on the timeline that you're going to download, it's got all the elements of the ceremony. So you've got the circling, the blessings, exchange of rings, reading of the ketubah, 7 blessings, smashing the glass, all that stuff, and links to all the different traditions. So well worth downloading it. Just click on that link above, smashing.class/timeline. So after the ceremony, I would allow 30 to 45 minutes max of the ceremony, ideally 30 minutes. You don't want the ceremony to go on and on and on. An hour is way too long for the ceremony. So discuss with your rabbi. I recommend 30 to 45 minutes. And then you're going to have your cocktail hour, your reception. Also, you're going to have your yichud, which is just a 5-10 minute thing after your ceremony. Cocktail hour normally is a great time to have 5:30 to 6:30, say. And you can also do your couple photos and family photos during that time if you're having those formals. Then you could ask your guests to be seated for dinner at 6:30, so that's after an hour for cocktails. And then you could have your Jewish wedding dancing, the Israeli dancing set. I recommend doing this as soon as the guests come in. Some people want to do the first dance and do the Israeli dancing later because they want to have all the makeup and everything nice for the first dance. That's fine as well. But I recommend opening the sort of dinner time with the couple coming on the dance floor and then straight into Jewish dancing. It's a massive icebreaker. It just removes any kind of shyness from people. Everyone's a leveler, everyone's on the same level. All the non-Jewish people start saying, this is the best wedding I've ever been to. I've never seen anything like it. No one's got any inhibitions. Everyone's just having the best time. I love it. So I recommend maybe a 15-minute set of Jewish dancing, half an hour even, allow for it. And then you're into dinner, interspersed with speeches and toasts. We can say between 7:15 and 8:45. Then at 8:45 you could have the first dance followed by more dancing. And let's talk about speeches as well. So I don't recommend having all the speeches in one chunk. It's too much. You want to keep a good flow, a good pace to your wedding. If in doubt, keep things moving rather than having things kind of taking too long. So shorter speeches, shorter timelines. Keep it going. Keep a good pace. You never ever want a guest to be like, oh my gosh, when's the next thing? I'm done. I've had enough at the drinks reception. When are we sitting down for dinner? Or anything like that. You never want that feeling. You want to keep it going all the time. Speeches, what is quite nice to do is to have 1 or 2 speeches between each thing. So you could have a welcome speech given by traditionally speaking, the bride's father, but it can really be by anyone that feels appropriate when guests sit down after the dancing. Then after the starters, you could have, or after the main course, you could have a couple more speeches. Then after the dessert, another speech. So just kind of mix it up. And so I recommend dessert maybe 9:30 p.m. and then 10 o'clock more dancing. Maybe the bride's speech later on. I did mine earlier before dessert. Up to you. And then 11 o'clock, normally between 11 and 12, guests departing. Now, obviously, this will all be a little later if you're having a Saturday night wedding and the chuppah is starting much later after Shabbat. Everything will be much later. If you're starting earlier, like say the brunch wedding, you'll shuffle things around. It really is just a guide, but it's well worth downloading. So just you've got a sense of how the day could be structured. And then right at the end, breakdown, vendors and staff depart. So that is just in a nutshell, a sample Jewish wedding timeline. There is no right way to have a Jewish wedding, no matter what the rabbi tells you, no matter what your mom's best friend tells you, no matter what the caterer tells you. There is no right way to have a Jewish wedding. Trust me. We want to do things that feel authentic and right for us. We want our guests to feel included. We want to create an experience. We want to incorporate traditions that are beautiful and symbolic for us. We want to do all of that, but there's no right way. There's no template that you have to do this a certain way. If this resonates with you, do come join my Brides Club, where I help brides and interfaith Jewish brides all around the world have, we minimize wed stress and overwhelm. We cut through all that and we maximize your budget and have a lot of fun along the way and all that good stuff. But Brides Club is great. You may want to join that. And we actually have a free trial promotion at the moment, but that's ending in about 10 days time. So you can join for free for 30 days just to experience what it's like. And then if you want to stay on, it costs $25 a month, or you can come out before the 30 days. It's totally up to you. That promotion is ending in about 10 days time. So do jump in on that if you want to try Brides Club out for free, see what it's like. I'll put the link in the comments. The other link to take note of is our Jewish wedding planning party, which is happening next Wednesday. I'm super excited for that, just under a week's time. I'll put the link in the comments. We are having a completely free Jewish wedding planning party. It's going to be live. I'm going to be talking you through everything from how to handle family conflicts, to how to let go of Jewish guilt, to how to maximize your wedding budget, whether it's small or big, how to nail your guest list, all the big stuff. And I'll also be answering every single one of your wedding questions. And there'll be drinks, there'll be presents for everybody, there'll be music. It's virtual, it's an online party. It's going to be so much fun. I've never done a live planning party. I think it's going to be great fun. We've already had about 150 people sign up, so do add your name. You do have to reserve a space. There's limited spaces, so do jump onto that link where it says smashingtheglass.com/party to get your seat, save your seat. And as always, if you've got any questions, put them in the comments. I am here to help. So that's enough from me. I've done 2 Facebook Lives on the Smashing the Glass Facebook page today. You've had more than enough from me, but I would love to see you here next Wednesday, October 16th. Mark that date in your diary for the smashingtheglass.com Jewish wedding planning party. You need to click on that link to save your seat and get all the bonus goodies and all that good stuff. So that's it from me for now. Have a fabulous rest of your week. I hope you had a Shana Tova and a easy fast yesterday if you chose to fast, and all that good stuff. So lots of love. Bye.